Persians are loving all this new stuff, all these new laws. Like, yeah, this is great. I can be open about my sexual perversions. I can dress up like a chick and dance around acting like a Fruit Loop, and I can even go in the girls' locker room and check. Wow, what a great society. Then you got the right-wing whack job accidental ape descendants going, what is going on? This is crazy. I don't understand. And now we've got the transgender. Folks, I don't even know what to call it anymore. We've got a group, the group that is men that for their and pee with the women are now calling themselves to arm themselves, and one of their nut job spokes dudes, some dude that tries to tell you he's a woman, and that in fact he can even have periods. These fucking Fruit Loops are trying to tell everybody that science has been lying and that they can have periods. Well, you're damn right, science has been lying. And you've fallen for every drop of it. I'm sorry, folks. It is so laughable. When the more you leave the ass clown gong show in your rear view mirror, when you look back at it, it just gets funnier and funnier. Those who bask in the cesspool of propaganda on a daily basis can't see it. It's the boiling frog trick, right? They can't see it. But for me, like when I stop in and I look on it, it is the boiling frog. I'm like, oh shit, that's hot. I ain't getting in that motherfucker. I'm going back where I was, y'all. I'm going fishing again. See ya. Anyway, man, I am laughing my ass off. I've been laughing my ass off all morning, sitting here drinking coffee and just watching this. Yeah, the trans community is now saying they need to arm themselves, buy guns, learn how to use them. Now you're hearing the irony here. They were born with one of the best tools mankind has ever been given, and they can't figure out how to use it. So they want to buy guns, thinking they can figure out how to use those. I'm sorry, y'all. First, you might want to learn to use that fucking gun you was born with, you dipshit Fruit Loop. God damn, y'all. I'm sorry, folks. I don't know how much longer they're going to let me make videos, folks, because it's just fucking hilarious. I got a guy chiming in on my comment sections right now. Now, I just told you the transgender community is calling itself to arms. And listen to this. They're saying that if you offend them, they're not saying this is for their protection or anything. You get this. They're saying if you offend them for trying to go into a woman's locker room or restroom, they will shoot and kill you to protect their gay and lesbian children's future, is their claim. Because of what is right and wrong and scientifically correct. This is their fucking claim. Okay, then you get the right-wing whack jobs that don't know which way is up, literally, by design. 1534, if we're to believe that, as it was written, Ignatius Loyola told the Pope, hey, we're going to lay this globe bullshit on them. They won't know which way is up. From there, mass psychosis will be created. The minds will be malleable. We will own and control all systems through our designed, implemented, funded, and scripted, planned, and implemented learning against learning method, rational tutorial. We will own and control all systems. It's still in full swing to this day, functions so fluently because, and this is why Lucky tells you guys all the time, just go turn on your TV right now. You won't get 5 minutes of standard broadcasting without 30 seconds to a minute of Ball Earth programming. Probably you'll get 4.5 minutes of Ball Earth programming. The majority of it being sideways Ball Earth programming. Like I always told you, like I told you 3 years ago, they're going to start launching a lot of fucking rockets and shit because people are going to wake up to the scientific delusion due to the COVIDian hoax. Okay? And a lot of them are. As I told you, I have a family full of nurses. My sister snapped right out of the trance because she had to go look at the science behind this theory because she could spot that something was very wrong because she's an educated, registered nurse, okay? This is not complicated stuff. And Mr. Josh Fiver, this is not hidden knowledge. These people just kill me. So you got these right-wing, woke, accidental ape descendants living in their mass psychosis on their scientific impossibility, science fiction fairy tale world with outer space. Doesn't exist, was made up. For those of you who are brand new to any semblance of truth, like Josh, the guy texted me, outer space was fabricated for a very specific reason. There is zero evidence whatsoever to support that there's anything that has been described to you, Josh, as outer space. It was made up because they fabricated a reverse engineered fairy tale globe calculation of 25,000 miles in circumference, which in order to reverse engineer that so they could pretend you lived on a globe, they had to claim that the sun was very, very, very far away. Now, in order to claim that the sun and the stars were very, very, very far away, we wouldn't be able to see them, Josh. And smart human beings, because humans were an awful lot more intelligent 150 years ago, Josh. So they would go, no fucking way I can see a star that's 17 billion light years away. I'm not stupid. So they invented something called outer space, and they said, well, the reason you can see the 93 million mile away sun, Mr. Josh Fever, who thinks there's no evidence to support anything I say, the reason they invented a idea to push upon the masses called outer space, full of planets and aliens and all this fabricated, made up, wackadoodle science fiction fairy tale bullshit, Josh, okay, was so that they could then say, well, you can still see the sun because there's nothing between here and there. It's exactly why they fabricated space to continue faulty science that disagreed with experiment. Now, you've been trained like a monkey, Josh, to buy into that. However, if you keep your own foot and you learn about critical thought and discernment, keep your own foot on the starting block of logic, that is, if it disagrees with experiment and is wrong, then you would understand that that's not proper science. It's not how science works, okay? You don't get to say, well, we could say it's a ball if we say the sun's really far. And then science goes, the sun can't be that far because humans can't see that far. Well, we know this, but if there was nothing between here and there, we can tell them that's how you can see it. And you call this science, Josh, and it's not science. Now, you have fallen for it because you were born into the deception. The same deception is used throughout the sciences, Josh. This is a pattern. This is their M.O. You have been taught to live your life based on pseudo-scientific theories that have no, zero, zilch, zip, not a single foundation in reality. The globe has no basis in reality. There never was any science to make anyone say, hey, this could be an accidental space rock. It's all made up to create mass psychosis so that humanity can be controlled. It's very simple stuff, Josh. Mr. You don't have any evidence, Lucky. Yes, I do. Men are seriously, Josh, they seriously are acting like women and claiming that it's okay. And you can't see the correlation. It's very simple, Josh. Once you get a populace to believe in and argue in favor of something that is objectively false, and then live their entirety of their existence under that falsity, that is mass psychosis. You have removed their ability to even know which way is up. Literally. You literally come to my channel, Josh Fiver, and you don't know which way is up. And in fact, you will argue in favor that there is no up. You literally don't know which way's up, and you'll argue in favor of it. Can I tell you any more clearly, Josh? You still won't hear it. You get it? You have come to my channel and said I have no evidence for any of this, and you don't even know which way is up. And yet you somehow feel qualified. Now, the transgender community is calling for killing innocent, hardworking women and children who have the balls to tell them, you are a man, get away from my family. Okay? And Josh, you're partaking in that. You are the woke. You live in a fantasy fairy tale. It's only going to get worse, Josh, until humanity is willing to stop living their life based on faulty pseudoscience fed to them by the agenda-based propaganda machine. Rule number 1, Propaganda 101. If you want to tell a lie, tell it big and tell it often. That is why you have globe earth programming every day, all day long on your television, radio, music, anything you turn to. That's all owned and controlled by the Jesuit order. It's all loaded with globe earth programming. That is why they're faking rocket launches, they're faking space flight on a daily basis now. You cannot turn on your TV without hearing about aliens and fabricated science fiction, fairy tale shit. And 95% of the populace thinks it's real. Then they stand around and go, how on fucking God's green earth can men claim to be women and go take showers with 14-year-old girls? Josh, snap the fuck out of it, brother. You got the woke leading the woke. And Lucky has told y'all till I'm blue in the fucking face, okay? So you look at the science. Until humanity learns what science is, that it is not an agenda-based propaganda on your television. Take it back, folks. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. See, I got this guy Josh who's all baffled by, like, where the shit does all this stuff come from? Lucky says it's called education, Josh. Educate yourself. There is no hidden secret knowledge, my brother. The intention was to create mass psychosis, which of course is leading to the downfall of civilization, as expected, as predetermined, as designed. Not a thing is going wrong. And the woke right sit around baffled by the woke left when they're all living in a fucking Wizard of Oz episode. And at this point, I'm just laughing at all of y'all and trying to protect my family from all of you fucking clowns, man. Give me a break. Thank you for taking another minute out of your day to hang out with me, Lucky Haskins, for a moment of truth. Ask yourself, who can I help today? And most importantly, stay.
Welcome back to Dose of Reality. This is the next video in my Mandela Effect short. It's not a brand new change for me. It's at least several months old, maybe a year old. So for me, maybe for other people, it's a lot older. But it's an easy video.
Hey, Cindy.
There's just so much residue
Yeah, I know,
everywhere.
right? Clowns everywhere.
It is a name change, as you can tell by the title. It's to do with the famous chef Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay, as I'll show you right here, no longer exists. Gordon Ramsay, oops, I need to switch my screen. Gordon Ramsay is now Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay with an A-Y instead of an E-Y. He was Gordon Ramsay. Now he's Gordon Ramsay. So I'm going to get into some residue to show you real quick. Some leftover residual evidence that shows that we're not crazy. And anybody that says there's nothing going on with the Mandela effect and it's just a psyop, wow, they haven't even done a lick of research into this. To say that no changes affect you is mind-boggling. Maybe this one doesn't, but I do think that most people will be affected by this one. Most people remember Gordon Ramsay.
Hey,
Now
Cindy.
Gordon Ramsay. Let's see some of the other people that remember. We have Express.co in the UK. Well, they clearly remember Gordon Ramsay with an EY. Gordon Ramsay with an EY. Let's move on over to theTayi.ca, Hell's Kitchen article talking about Chef Gordon Ramsay with an EY. Okay, EY. Let's move on over. Gordon Ramsay with an EY. So all these sites, Metro in the UK, all these huge sites, they must be falling for my psyop. Because there's nothing going on, according to a lot of people in the so-called truth community. Nothing going on. Meanwhile, I'm over here showing you thousands of changes. Huge historical events, all sorts of stuff. Yes, this is just a name change. Still big, especially if you remember Gordon Ramsay. You're not crazy, and your memory doesn't suck. And it's not an online psyop. Gordon Ramsay with an EY, blastingnews.com. How about the Miami Herald? Oh, they want me to subscribe. Okay, well, we're not going to do that. All right, Daily Edge, Gordon Ramsay in the URL with the EY. Gordon Ramsay right here with the EY. Never been EY in this reality. Interesting. Everybody's falling for my psyop. Today.com, Gordon Ramsay with an EY. Wow, amazing. I love when people, supposedly misremember and misspell as the debunkers and deniers try to say. I love how it's always the same way, And I love how it's actually usually more than the current reality sometimes. That's wild. Wild, wild, wild. All right, let's scroll down, and who do we have here? Well, we got Gordon Ramsay. You know who we have with an EY. All right, next. The Independent. The Gordon Ramsay effect. Yeah, this is the Gordon Ramsay effect, because who the fuck is Gordon Ramsay? He's been Mandela affected. He's never existed. It's Gordon Ramsay. You must be watching those Mandela effect videos on YouTube, Independent Magazine, before you started doing your articles. Okay, the Daily Mail. Let's see. And here's another perfect example of what I told you before. Very interesting, right? So here's the new way, right? Ramsay. Look how stupid that looks, too. Gordon Ramsay. That's ridiculous, right? And also here, Ramsay. So why am I showing an article with the new way? Well, because the URL still has it with an E. Gordon Ramsay. When the website was made, Ramsay. And how many times have I told you guys? One of the best places for residue stuff that doesn't change is the URLs. For whatever reason and how they're linked in and registered or whatever, those don't shift with the text in the articles. Very interesting. Happens all the time. You would know this if you were paying attention, but too many people just shun this away as if there's nothing going on. Let's continue. CNN. CNN clearly get it. Where are they? Yeah, Ramsay with an EY. CNN. Ramsay, EY. Right? All right, we have New York Daily News. Well, they remember Gordon Ramsay with an EY. They must have been watching the Mandela Effect videos on YouTube and elsewhere. Falling for the psyop, right? Right? Nothing's happening, right? And it's no big deal that physical matter, people's names, anatomy, geography, Bibles, all this stuff is changing in reality, even retroactively in the past. This guy's name now has always been Ramsay with an A. There's no change. There's no name change. It's always been that in this reality now. It's a complete rewrite of our reality. And people want to shut it off. Let's continue. Okay. Wow, how many ads are you going to show me, guy? Chef Gordon Ramsay shoots TV show at Waterbury restaurant. Well, who the fuck is Gordon Ramsay? Because I can't find anything. Ramsay now in this reality. Supposedly we're all crazy, we're all stupid, and all these places are just putting the wrong letter in here. And nothing's going on. Gordon Ramsay with an EI, with an EY. This one, I don't know if it has recipe. This one has it both ways. So they have Ramsay here. Down here they have Ramsay. Okay, fans are calling for Gordon Ramsay, but they can't find him because he doesn't exist. Next, nothing's happening though. Gordon Ramsay. Well, who the hell is he?
Yeah,
who the hell is he? because I only know
So
Gordon
bad. I was
Ramsay
supposed to be at the meetup
reality.
the other day.
Okay, now that's the end of the different articles from news I'm going to show you. I could show you
Wasn't
stuff
able
all
to.
day. I could show you books. I could show you this. I could show you that. I'm just going to show you a quick little slideshow that I put together. It's about 3 minutes of different residue from different newspapers, which is a great source for reality residue. If you remember Gordon Ramsay, guess what? Your Mandela effect. Don't feel bad. It's not an insult, even though some people want to take it that way. Everybody's Mandela affected. Mandela effect is just a stupid term they came up with to try and gatekeep the supernatural realm being exposed right now to us. That's my opinion. Enjoy the slideshow. Check out my Mandela effect.
I'm gonna put this big camera on top. It's super exposed. Yeah, shoot this thing right off. What? Tell me she come. Why are you hitting your sister? Stay here now. I already talked to you about this.
Okay, today is Friday, May 12th, or so they say. I'll be on Jen's channel tonight.
Because Eve came from Adam, so it has to have both
Close the door.
pieces to make the spark of life. And so he's very specific about there has to be a separation. There's differences between what men can do and what women can do. Men obviously they can do things that are more stronger and more exertion, and they're way smarter and stuff. But maybe I added that part in. But like women, my wife showed me a thing this just before the show. It was the most adorable thing. It's two little kids, and this one little girl smacks the other kid, the boy, in the head accidentally with the cabinet door, and he immediately starts to cry, and she walks up and she kisses his cheek, and he stops and he touches it, and it's over. And they're like, see, that's a superpower that women have, right? Comfort. That's why they try to break up the family, right? Everyone has to work and be equal. Well, not necessarily. There's a nurturing part of women. There's a family. Like a man can buy a house, but a woman makes it a home. You know, they can bring that love and compassion.
And they want role reversal.
Man doesn't have that, but in this society, we're not allowed to show that. So you go to mom. Sorry.
Yeah, and then they want role reversals. Like a lot of the shows where the dad's the mom and the mom seems to be the dad, and this type of stuff. Two Men and a Baby, this whole thing. I never watched those shows, by the way. Because again, it goes against the natural order of things. And when you see something that's not right,
hold on a second. I gotta go for a second. I'm sorry, something's going on in the house.
Okay. So anyway, you get that feeling like something's not right, And I just can't watch shows like that. I don't know. It just stirs something in my being to where I'm just like, no, it's not how things are supposed to be. But, you know, everybody has their personal preference. I'm not going to put somebody else down for watching those shows. This is for me, how I feel. You know, if I identify as a house, that's funny. If you identify as a cat, they'll put in a cat box at, you know, the mall for you. So you can use that instead of a family room. Where everybody
Didn't they have that? Didn't they have was it the Met where they had someone was as a cat just meowed?
I don't
That
know.
weird thing called the Met for no reason whatsoever. But yeah.
So Sodom and Gomorrah is important in two ways. It shows us the sins of man and what they were punished for, but it also shows the destruction of God and, you know, his X factor, his judgment, and which ties into the whole melted building thing, of course. If they are admitting that location, those two locations are cooked out, ashed out cities, in biblically speaking, geologically speaking, they're not admitting that. They're saying something completely different about this. They're not saying that they're saying that there could have been a city there, but it's gone now. It may have sunk into the ground or just totally been destroyed. But the outlining things that we're seeing, they are not admitting that those are buildings. Because they can't. If they admit that those are buildings, then they're going to have to admit that everything around it, everything around outer, a bigger, wider circle out from it, everything is going to encompass everything, that there's been a destruction of some sort. Whether they're buildings or trees or giants or whatever, they're definitely not what geologists are telling us these things are. And, you know, and like I said before, I'm okay with it if you don't agree with everything that I've presented or my theories and stuff. Everybody has their own theories. The important thing to know here is that even the shape of the plane that we're on, we all don't know the shape of it. We're not sure how far out it goes and all this stuff. But there's one thing we can all agree on, that shit that they're selling us called space and all that crap is not what they're telling us. That we live on something completely different. And that's the important thing here, is that we're getting past those levels of deception. Being on the other side of that level of deception does not mean we have to bicker back and forth about what it actually is. Oh, it's a melted building. Oh, it's a tree or whatever like that. At the end of the day, we know that we've been lied to, and it's not what they told us. That's for sure. It didn't take millions of years to form. That's bull. People see other things and stuff like that, but millions of years of sedimentary layers. Every aspect of our lives, everything we talk about in our lives, all this stuff with the trans and all this, all these other things, this new level, last 5 to 10 years maybe, with finding out that a lot of these movie stars, these sex symbols are not who we thought they were. And now we're starting to realize that for like at least 3 or 4 or 5 generations have had their vision, their perception, deception over them to see a woman as a sex symbol, that she would look a certain way. I mean, ever wonder why Farrah Fawcett looked the way she does? It's because, you know, she's not what she's actually presenting herself to be. She's got male DNA. And this is why they age the way they do, and they go for all the plastic surgery like they do and stuff, because they have to keep up this persona.
And I'm gonna say, I'm not necessarily agreeing with all the ones that you say are different. I'll take each case as you present it and make a decision. Not saying that I agree or disagree on Farrah, but I don't know. I have to see more evidence.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm only reason I'm talking about Farrah is because I did a video 3 channels ago on her, so I already know. But I haven't presented it to you yet. I see what you're saying. But I do have a lot of stuff to present on Something Ain't Right. And but first I want to get into the Sodom and Gomorrah part of it, and we're going to talk about the video that Ron Wyatt did, his discovery of the city and the locations and the sulfur balls and the cooked out ash building. So we're going to play the video, but we're also going to talk through it. We're going to stop wherever you want. We can go over things, okay? Does that sound good with you?
Yeah, which one did you get? Because there's so many. That's the thing that blows me away, that people will still deny this Bible existence, and yet there's so much evidence of Sodom and Gomorrah, you can find hundreds of videos on it.
So, this is the original Ron Wyatt one.
Ron Wyatt? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. They,
you'll like it. It's about 19 minutes long.
Timo and Marie Shelley, and they do some work around there, and they also looked into, like, where the Red Sea crossing is and stuff like that, Mount Sinai. So,
Right.
yeah.
Can you see this on the screen?
Let me look. I can. In 1999, when Ron, yes.
Okay, we're good. All right. So, guys, I'm going to play this. It's 10 minutes and 51 seconds long. We're going to talk through it, but I don't know if you probably have seen it. It's about 2 years old. This video's been on. So, let me see here. All right, it's coming up here.
I drove back and forth through there
Hey, Jeannie.
many times. You have to go past there to get the Kadesh. You have to go past there to get to the Red Sea crossing site. And I did stop and show
Go play outside. Is Grandma here?
my two sons and whoever else was helping
All right, go
us
set the table.
this ash.
Go help set the table.
Went right through the middle of it down at the Zoar area. And, I showed them the salt and stuff. I said that
When I played God's Destruction from the Quran, it even mentions in there that Sodom and Gomorrah are situated on a well-traveled road. He's saying he just went through this road and showed them where the ash is, the ashy buildings.
this is bound to be what's left of those cities, where the cities of the plains once enjoyed a beautiful and very prosperous existence. The place where Lot chose, rather than the mountains, to feed his flocks and herds and raise his family. And you'll notice here that we have several feet of nothing but white powdery ash. Ash that's only produced when material is burned at degree temperatures exceeding 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This stuff crumbles to powder in your hands, sticks to your clothes. It's just pure ash. But it was, I guess, 1988. Mary Nell and I were out there, and she found this chunk of ash that had been broken open, and inside it there was a little cavity that looked just unbelievably like an eyeball. So we were kind of puzzled about that. But about a year later, we actually found sulfur balls, these spears of sulfur, and where they had completely burned up, there was a cavity very similar, to this one that Mary Nell had found a year before. Okay, we're down at Sodom and Gomorrah still. Right in front of you is these some unusual looking spots on this. Shows the layer of ash. It's not stone, it's ash. Now we'll move in for a close-up of this.
Yeah.
And you can see that they're kind of circular shaped
They did.
Yeah, hold on.
places.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, Aaron is tardy, but more importantly, should we go over the story a little bit for people that may not be familiar?
Yeah, we can totally do that.
I can do a little synopsis so that.
Yeah, I think you'd be really good at doing that synopsis.
All right, I can try it. So, yeah, she tried to slide in here, Aaron.
Hold on, I got you, Aaron.
Daddy,
What is it?
you have to wake mommy's up because grandma will set up the table.
That's so funny. Okay, so basically, the story goes like this:
Oh no.
God was talking to Abraham because Lot and Abraham, they split up. They decided that they were both too big of a group to live in the same area, and Lot chose this one area that it just looked great, and Abraham chose the harder area that he's going to have to work into something. And so Lot goes there, and of course, it's terrible. It's like you were saying, Jen. Just it's Sodom and Gomorrah got its name for that. There's just depravity. Most likely, it's what do you call that? What's that? It's sex magic and spell casting and stuff like that. So a lot of that's probably going on, but it's like every combination, including animals and all that.
Gamer.
And so when
figure this thing out.
God tells Abraham he's going to destroy the city because it's lost, because they're just all just terrible.
It's hedonism.
Yes, hedonism. And they've turned that, see how it's the backwards, upside down world? They've turned hedonism to be like a fun thing you do on vacation and stuff. But yeah, so he tells Abraham that he's going to destroy the city. So Abraham, it's one of the times that it's fun. God has a conversation with him. Because he talked with Abraham like this, and he talked with Moses like this. When he got everyone out of Egypt and everyone was bitching and complaining, they wanted to go back into slavery because they thought they were going to die. And then they did the same thing with the golden calf. Mm-hmm. Debauchery was going on when he was up on top of Mount Sinai.
Yeah, that's a good word, debauchery, yes.
And so God says he's just going to kill them all. And Moses talks with them, and God repents. And he's like, okay. Because Moses says, hey, you kill them after you've hauled them out in the desert. No one's going to live anymore, And that's basically the way it goes down, supposedly. So now you're the same thing. Abraham's talking to God, and it's the one person that God says was his friend. That's pretty cool. But he's like, hey, what if there's like, I forget what numbers he starts, but he's like, what if there's 100 people there that are good? Would you destroy the city? And he's like, no. And then he whittles it down. He goes like, what if there's 50? What if it's a funny thing. You're like, wow, I don't know if I can ask God this many questions without feeling like I'm pushing it. You know what I mean? But Abraham does it, and he gets him down to, I don't know, like a few people. So finally they come up with this thing where he tells them, go there and get, I think it's his brother, his cousin or brother, or whatever, I forget who Lot is to him, and go get him and bring him out of the city. And so they send 2 angels to go into the city to get his family. And this is how corrupt this whole city is, okay? Because Abraham's rescuing Lot. But as soon as the angels show up at the house, a mob of people come to the house. They bang on the door and they demand, it's most disgusting, they demand for them to have them sent out so they can all have sex with these 2 people that have entered the city, okay? So what does Lot do? You think he's like, no, get out of here, they're angels, they'll smite you. No, what does he say? Hey, this is how gross this whole city is. He goes, hey, look, if you leave them alone, I have 2 virgin daughters. I'll throw them in the crowd and you guys
can... The thing is that they're sodomites. They don't want nothing to do with no virgin girls. They're sodomites.
The mental capacity of the guy is just like, oh, these angels are so important, I'll just give up my daughters. Like, even he's corrupt, right? And so what happens is the angels are like, this is just getting crazy. And so they open the door, and the door's open, they're talking, and they start to try to grab them out. And the angels do their angel thing, and they just blind everyone that's like right up front and stuff.
They smited them.
Yeah, they did all some old-fashioned smite.
I'm gonna pause Ceiling Fan Man and Jenny here, but I might come back after dinner and play a little bit more and listen to some more of Ceiling Fan Man. If you haven't followed Ceiling Fan Man yet, go ahead and follow him. I'm pretty sure he's the only channel called Ceiling Fan Man. You can look him up. Great guy. Richard and his wife Jeannie are awesome. Jenny as well. Truth Seeker 69. Great channels to follow. They go into the Bible. They go into Mandela Effect and crazy stuff going on. Yeah. But thanks for watching, guys. Much love, Indy, Marcy, Jeannie, Cindy. Thanks for coming by. Peace and love, guys. Probably do this again a couple hours. Alright. Take care.